Hello everyone, today I'm taking a test ride of the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. This is Royal Enfield's first liquid-cooled engine. Royal Enfield has named it the Sherpa engine. Sherpa means a member of the Tibetan group living on the higher southern slopes of the Himalayas, who help trekkers and mountain climbers. Royal Enfield has named it the Sherpa as the Himalayan 450 will help you conquer the Himalayas during your ride to Ladakh. How true is that? Let's find out. While taking the test ride, I noticed the Shotgun 650 and the Interceptor 650. I didn't like the Shotgun so much, so I asked the executive for a test ride of the Interceptor. Obviously, there's a lot of difference between these two motorcycles. Firstly, Himalayan being a single-cylinder adventure and the Interceptor being a twin-engine roadster. Anyhow, I wanted to experience the Interceptor. Both the motorcycles have a price difference of about 20,000 for the base model. I feel that I was the first person riding this bike today, as the engine was stalling after I turned it on. I'm guessing as the engine was cold. However, even after riding it for a while, it stalled a couple of times, so I'm not sure what the issue is. First thing that you'll notice on the bike is that how big the bike feels. The seating position is high and the wide handlebars give you a commanding position. The seat height is 825 mm, which can be dropped to 805 mm or increased to 845 mm. It gets a ground clearance of 230 mm. The weight of this bike is 196 kilos, but you don't feel that while riding. I had no issues taking U-turns or moving the bike with my feet. The TFT display feels premium and easy to read. You can connect it to your phone and activate Google Maps on the display itself, which I feel is amazing as I won't be needing to buy a phone mount for the bike to use maps. The second thing that impressed me was the gearbox. It was very smooth and precise. Royal Enfield did a great job on the gearbox. Also, it gets assist and the slipper clutch. The power delivery is linear and it gets ride-by-wire throttle. That's first for Royal Enfield. It does have vibrations, but it won't bother you that much. It gives you a feeling that the engine is lively. Coming to the specifications, it churns out 40 PS of power and 40 Nm of torque. However, the Sherpa engine is very different than the engine of the Himalayan 411. You will miss the low-end torque that was loaded on the 411, especially during off-roading while you have to crawl through difficult terrain. It feels that the Himalayan 450 was built for highway touring, something that the 411 lacked to some extent. Coming to the suspension, I felt it to be little hard. That would give stability on the highways, but discomfort on bad roads. The stock visor isn't the best, as I could feel the wind hitting on my helmet. So if you'll be touring with this, you'll need to buy a taller visor. To bring this elephant to a halt, you have a 320 mm disc at the front and 270 mm at the rear. The braking power felt stronger as compared to other Royal Enfield motorcycles. It gets dual channel ABS and the rear one can be switched off while off-roading. Gets a 21-inch wheel on the front, so great for off-roading, and a 17-inch at the rear. It has a 17 liters fuel tank So on a full tank, you will get a range of about 500 kilometers. It also gets all LED headlights. Coming to another aspect of this bike that is all over the internet nowadays is the chassis braking. Now I'm a Royal Enfield fan, but I can't deny the fact that Royal Enfield had quality issues all over the years. And the chassis braking is a major issue. Even though Royal Enfield claimed that the chassis braking is because of the aftermarket crash guards. You will see many bikers add aftermarket crash guards on their motorcycles. But why only Royal Enfield faced this issue of chassis braking? That does put a question mark on Royal Enfield's quality. So if you're planning to buy this bike, I'll suggest to stick to Royal Enfield genuine accessories. Now let's get to the pros and cons of the motorcycle. Here are 5 things that I love about the Himalayan 450. First being the engine. I found it to be a very capable engine, especially if you want it for touring. It can cruise at triple-digit speeds all day long without being any stress. You may feel some vibrations on the foot pegs and on the handlebars as you climb the RPM band, but it won't bother you that much. The second pro is the tech it offers. It gets an informative TFT display that can be connected to Google Maps and show information like temperature, gear position indicator, service reminders, and much more. It has 2 display modes you can choose from, that is day and night. The 450 gets riding modes, ride-by-wire throttle for precise acceleration. The acceleration won't feel as punchy as the KTM 390, but nevertheless it is fun to ride. The third pro that I feel is the bike gives you a big bike feel. The size and height of the bike gives you a commanding position when you ride it. And the 450cc engine feels powerful enough for a beginner rider. Also, it gets the 70 liters fuel tank that adds to the muscularity and gives you a decent amount of range, so you can have less fuel stops. The fourth pro is the touring capabilities. Touring will be fun on a motorcycle that can cruise all day at 120-130 kilometers, paired with a brilliant suspension setup, comfortable riding position, and seats. Mounting luggage is easy as well, and you can also add the top box and panniers from Royal Enfield accessories. All this makes the Himalayan 450 an almost perfect tourer. The last pro that I feel is the off-road capabilities of the bike. It gets spokes wheels along with tall handlebars and a ground clearance of 230 mm, so you can glide through difficult terrain with ease. Spoke wheels give you the confidence to do hardcore off-roading, as you don't have the fear of your alloys bending or cracking. Now that I've told you all the good things about the bike, let's talk about some of the cons or things that would have been better on the Himalayan 450. The first being the low-end performance. You will definitely miss the low-end torque that you used to get on the Himalayan 411. In the 411, you could filter through traffic easily while being on the second or third gear, while the Himalayan's 450's Sherpa engine does not feel at home while in traffic. You'll have to be in first gear while in slow traffic to make sure that the bike moves effortlessly, because on the second or third gear, you'll have to keep feathering the clutch or else the bike will stall. The second con that I felt is the fit and finish. Even though the bike feels premium, you'll notice some flaws on the bike regarding the quality of the parts used. Royal Enfield still has to work on the quality to make the motorcycle more reliable. Many owners have complained of balls falling and the switchgear being flimsy. The third con is the bike tilting to the right. Like the Royal Enfield 650 Twins had the wobbling issue at high speeds, many owners have complained of the Himalayan 450 moving to the right if you leave the handlebar. This is very disappointing to hear for a bike that cost 3.60 lakhs. I hope Royal Enfield fixes this issue in the upcoming models. The fourth point is no tubeless tires. Spoke wheels work well for off-road and bad roads, but this has caused it to miss out on tubeless tires. You can convert the spoke wheels to tubeless tires by sealing the spokes, but then you won't be able to adjust the spokes in the future. Also, you may get a slow leak from the imperfect seal, which if unmonitored may lead to pressure dropping low enough that could cause rim damage on a rocky trail or a highway pothole. At this price point, Royal Enfield should have provided spoke wheels and tubeless tires. The last con is not a major one, is the visor. The stock visor that does not protect against wind after around 80 or 90 km per hour, especially if you are above 5'10" or 5'11". There will be a lot of wind buffeting and it will be very annoying during long rides. You can fix this issue by getting a taller visor. Now that I've told you about all the pros and cons of the bike, let's get to the conclusion. Given all the cons of this bike does not change the fact that the Himalayan 450 is an absolute hoot to ride. Not to mention, no bike is perfect. It's just that how much are the flaws going to affect you. When you're confused whether to buy a particular bike, you have to put the cons and pros on a weighing scale of riding style and requirements, and you'll be able to make the decision. This is all I had for the Himalayan 450. Personally, I love the bike and I would definitely want to take it for a long ride. If you have any questions on the bike, feel free to drop it in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them. Hit the like and subscribe button. You can also follow me on Instagram for more motorcycle related content. See you in the next video. Till then, take care, ride safe.